Hello and welcome to another FPL Jedi Show pre-season. I'm Hafiz and today I am joined by a special guest,
Mm.
which is the reigning champion of number one Malaysia, who won the FPL for number one Malaysia, Amerjit Singh. How are you, sir?
I'm okay. How are you, Hafiz?
Yes, good to finally meet you, Amerjit. Welcome to our show. And definitely we are honored to have you. You actually won everything in terms of number one FPL for Malaysia. How's your feeling?
Okay. Didn't expect it, but it was a surprise in the end. I was nowhere near the top, I think 2 or 3 weeks before the final game week. So I'm quite surprised. I was happy just being on the top 50. Okay.
All right, good to hear that. We'll walk through a bit of how you actually end up the season. You
Mm.
can share some of the tips to us also, and then spoiler a bit to our viewers that Amarjit actually will share the first game week one team draft, so we can actually get some of your thoughts on this. Okay. So come back to this your career achievement, Amarjit. You've been impressive for the past, like you played for the long ages since 2010, okay, season. And then in terms of your points ranking or even overall history, you can be proud that you finish once in top 10k, once in top 5k, which is actually in 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
And then the most recent one, with definitely the best moment of your career, finishing in top 50,
Yeah.
which is overall record in the world. But most importantly, you finish number one in Malaysia.
Mhm.
So, what can you sum up about your records, Amijit?
Okay. Actually, I started in 2010. Uh, that was like already 3 quarters of the season. I just want to know how to play the game. I mean, I've been looking at the game, but I've never been interested to play because at that time there were other competitions in Malaysia that I was concentrating on.
Yep.
Then I started playing, and it's been difficult because too many players. I mean, I think when I started in 2011, 2012, probably there were about, I think about 2, 3 million. Now I think there are 9 million.
Yep.
So
9 million.
to now, if you finish in the top 10 is considered top 10,000 also is considered good. So to finish 43 is definitely not what I expected. But
Have you actually dreamed to finish this kind of position?
no, not this, not the previous season, because at the beginning there were a lot of mistakes. So I thought, just try to reach top 10k lah. You know, I think the last I was struggling to reach the top 10k, and then the last 10 game weeks I managed to get into top 10k, and then my worry was to remain in the top 10k. But I started going even better, and then it was top 1,000, and then top 100. So I finished at 43. So I'm very happy about that, lah. Could have been
Okay.
better, but it could have been much worse. Yeah.
Yep. So maybe if you could remember specifically this season lah, since
Mhm.
this could be the season that you finish double digit, and compared to the rest of your position or
Yeah.
history before, you haven't finished this kind of um, position before. So
Mhm.
can you remember, do you do differently this season out of other season?
I'm actually playing the same game every year. It's the same kind of principles, but this time there was a difference. I mean, the last 2 seasons because of COVID. And actually, I had a bad start. I think it was game week 9 where I captained Kai Havertz. Okay.
Okay.
Chelsea won 7-0, 7 goals. Chelsea
Yep.
scored. Kai Havertz was supposed to play as striker because Lukaku was, I think, injured, and
Yep.
Kai Havertz didn't have a goal or an assist in a 7-0 win. It based on my planning, it was Chelsea playing Norwich,
Yep.
and Liverpool were playing Manchester United. Okay,
Yep.
so all logic pointed that the best person to captain is a Chelsea player,
Yep.
and nailed on to start as a striker was Kai Havertz. I think game week 9, I think. And I captained Havertz, and Salah scores a hat trick, I think, against
Yep.
Manchester
Yep.
United.
I can remember
That
that.
was a horrible, horrible game week, and I thought this is going to be a mess because I think a lot of people captained Salah. But
Yep.
since then,
Myself
I have
also captain Salah that week. Yep.
so all logic went out of the door, and I was thinking like, there's no way I'm going to get good at this game. But sometimes you make decisions. I think it's important to know that when you make a decision, it's still a correct decision. The outcome was wrong. You see, sometimes it's just
I agree.
people can call it luck, but you make the right decision, you get the wrong outcome. You must
Yep.
not get disheartened because next time it will work for you. So since then, I have improved. I think at that time I was quite far behind, but every game week I was slowly improving and all that. But that is a sometimes it can happen. You just happen to captain the wrong person. Yeah,
To tell you the truth, if you recover that kind of result and still finish 43 in the world, well,
yeah,
I cannot say anything. It's your season because I did captain Salah that week and get his hat trick points, so called,
mm, yeah.
and you did not, but you finish higher than me. So that's tell about how FPL can turn around easily
But
during the season.
the strange thing, Hafiz, is that if I had captain Salah that week, I would have may have played the game differently. Because I captain Havertz, I think to catch up, I had to take more risks. So sometimes
Mm.
it balances up. You see. So it's not necessarily that if I captain Salah, I would finish 43. I could even finish worse than that because your decisions are affected by your previous game week scores. Okay, and so you have to make some adjustments.
Okay.
So since then, I captain Salah a lot. Okay.
Okay. Just to tell our viewers that you're actually Spurs fan. Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
congratulations, Spurs actually end up top four last season. Okay.
Yeah.
And you are actually in the Champions League
Yeah.
places running for the new season. So congrats on that.
Yes.
But just to share with our viewers, are you biased when picking Spurs player in your FPL team?
Actually, because I support Spurs, I don't use their players. I don't know why, because I psychologically, because you see, it's like you're hedging your bets. So if my FPL teams does badly and Spurs does well, so I am half happy,
Okay.
half sad.
Okay.
I put Spurs players and they don't do well. It's a double whammy, they call it. I
Okay.
generally don't use Spurs players because actually, to be fair, Tottenham do not score that many goals. So if I were to invest in Harry Kane or Son Heung-min, the team does not score. I think earlier on they were not scoring a lot of goals compared to, let's say, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, the three top scoring teams. So I try not to use Spurs players, but towards the end, I think the last 10 game weeks, I did get in Son Heung-min. And I not I think the last 10, 15 game weeks, I brought in Son Heung-min rather than Harry Kane. So that was the correct decision. Son Heung-min outscored Harry Kane. And I captained him a few times. So I kept Son for some time. But only the last game week, I think I had Son and Kane because they were playing Norwich. So
Okay.
that was,
Since
yeah.
since you're on that topic, let's
Yeah.
jump. Uh,
Yeah.
the last week of the season,
Yes.
Amerjit, if you can recall that moment again. Okay, so
Yeah.
we want to actually revive back the
Yeah.
moment. Okay, where you actually um close fight with Baba Yaga. Your team is actually Ecovox. Okay,
Yes.
and
Yes.
you're actually behind of Baba Yaga. Okay,
Yeah.
coming into game week 38, the last one, and
Yes.
uh, surprise. Baba Yaga is actually on the league, and then
Yeah.
the last week of the season, you actually wins FPL for number one Malaysia by only 2 points.
Yes.
Can you
Correct.
actually how close that fight is? And to be fair, this is your last team in game week 38. Like you mentioned,
Okay.
you have Sun, Kane, even
Yeah.
KDB. So you actually have like three premiums there. So maybe
Yes.
you can walk through again with us
Okay.
your moment of the final week.
I remembered very well about 2 months ago when they FPM, but now I have sort of forgotten how. But if I'm not mistaken, I was some points behind. Actually, I towards the end, I also had a uh, wrong captain choice. This time I took Salah and De Bruyne scored 4 goals, I think.
Yep,
Uh,
yep.
so I think some of them captained De Bruyne. I had De Bruyne, but I did not captain him. Actually, I had the captaincy on De Bruyne and then last minute changed to Salah. So sometimes last minute is not a good time to decide. And so what happened is, for me, I thought that I was thinking that Leicester City, throughout the season, Leicester had a lot of injuries, but they were coming into form. And I remember reading it in some forum that Leicester was playing their full team, their strongest team. Some teams were already using their reserves, but Leicester were playing their main side, even though they had nothing to play for. So
Okay.
that's when I decided to bring in Madison. And Madison is the one that made a difference because I think the other teams did not have Madison. If I'm not mistaken, maybe Baba Yaga had, I think, Harvey Barnes. I preferred Madison, and I also, of course, I also had KDH, Dewsbury Hall, that he did not get me any
Yep.
points. But the big difference was Madison, and of course, I brought in Kane and Captain Son. So I think towards the end, yeah, those were my. So Madison was my differential. I think he scored in the last 2 or 3 game weeks very well. And before that, I had
Yep.
also Richarlison.
Yep.
And then I sold him off, yeah, for Kane, I think.
So
But I really remember, yeah.
so good decision. You made this. So Madison could actually the one who win you number one for
I
FPL
think
from
so,
Malaysia.
yeah. I can't remember, but
Uh,
I think Madison was the main.
yeah. If I can recall, Baba Yaga actually captain Sun the last week,
Yeah,
and
same, yeah.
both of you actually took -4 last week.
Yes,
If I
that's
can
for,
recall that, so
yeah.
there is some luck on your side. Where Baba Yaga also took that hits. If not, it could be a different
Yeah, I think I
result.
took a hit because Everton was safe. So because Everton was safe and I know they don't have to fight for it, so I took out Richarlison. I think I brought in Kane, but for the price difference, I had to take a hit to adjust the team. Yeah. So in the end, it turned out to be the correct decision because Everton, I think the last day they got trashed. They were no longer in a need for a win or a draw. So it was the right decision bringing in Kane because Kane also scored some points. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So good job, Amerjit. I can't say anything more. You win number one for Malaysia. When you know this result, what you did? You celebrate with anyone or you shared with anyone this news?
No, the first thing I checked is whether there was any prize or not. There was no prize for finishing first in Malaysia, so nothing. I got no prize. I thought maybe there is some prize which I never bothered checking because I never expect to finish first. Unfortunately, no prize. Just this interview I got.
So do you actually have like close friend who play with you together and then can appreciate you this at
No,
least?
no, not really.
No.
Not. I do not know of anybody who plays this game. Uh,
Ah, okay.
I do not have friends who play this game. Maybe if they play, I don't know about it, or they are not. I think there are some casual players I know, but
Okay.
not really. I
Okay.
don't share it with anybody or talk to anybody about
Oh,
it.
so
Yeah.
so so means that this could be one of your hobby aside of your own day-to-day job lah.
Yes. Correct. Correct. Correct.
Okay, the way how you break from your own normal life lah. Just to share with our viewer, Amerjit is actually a lawyer. Okay, so
Yes.
that is his profession. He's definitely in terms of schedule and to get him interview this session also. Finally, we actually reached to today to get this session. If not, Amerjit also quite busy in terms of his daily life. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna walk through you a bit your strategy, chip strategy for the
Yeah.
whole season. Okay,
Okay.
which you played last season. Okay,
Yeah.
just walk through with our viewers. You wildcard in game week 8, and then you
Yeah.
play triple captain in game week 26. You managed got 146 points in that week. Okay, so later we share your team also. We have luxury 2 free hit last season because of COVID, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
You actually used the first free hit in the blank game week, so called in game week 30.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you wildcard in game week 34, you bench boost in 36, which been rewarded with 144 points, and then you free hit in game week 37 with 110 points. Okay,
Mm.
so normally just jump a bit in terms of your wildcard strategy. You
Yeah.
played game week 8 last season. Is this your normal playing style? You wildcarding this time?
Yeah, I always try to wildcard as late as I can. I know there are many people who wildcard very early, maybe to catch some price increase
Yep.
or
Yep.
I think wildcard is the most important chip. You must not simply use it. So
Okay.
I try to hold on, but I think because of COVID, actually this season I wildcarded a bit earlier than I would usually have. I can't remember why it was game week 8. I try to hold on at least until game week 10, 11, especially when there is a big change in
Fixture
the
swing, you call it. Yep.
fixture swing, a major fixture swing. That's when I would wait and then I wild card. But I think it was COVID or something like that. I can't remember why I wild carded in game week 8. But the following week was when I captained the Kai Havertz. So it was a bad wild card. Okay, I think because actually I was targeting Lukaku. They were going to
ah,
play,
but
but
he
Lukaku.
find out injured, right? Yep.
I think that's one of the reasons I think I had to wild card. Yeah,
Okay.
but
All
I
right.
can't remember Hafiz. Yeah,
Okay. Good.
yeah,
We show you where the game week 26 you triple captain.
yeah,
Obviously, some actually captain this week, which I've found it the best week to triple captain, where you can
yeah,
see Salah scored 84 points if you triple captain this
yeah.
week. You
Mhm.
did that. How you feel when you make this decision in triple
Okay,
captaining Salah this week?
because Salah owed me a lot of points. I, I did not captain him when he scored a hat trick. So at least during it was a double game week, and
Yep.
Salah had two straightforward games. So whenever you have two straightforward games and there's a player who is nailed, that's the best time to triple captain. I mean, it's a no-brainer lah. Many people, I think, captain Salah that time. So it was the right decision because I don't think there was any other person I would have triple captained. And this was a actual 2 game weeks. Sorry, 2 games back to back,
Yep.
which I thought he would score. Yeah, so this was an easy decision. So I
Okay.
waited for.
If you can remember, Amerjit, in terms of Epic Air community, at that juncture, Game Week 26, they have split decision whether to wildcard or to triple captain. Some of the managers actually wildcard that week to take
Yeah,
advantage of the fixture that they realize. Do you
yeah.
actually occur that kind of strategy in mind when decide between whether you want to triple captain or wildcard?
Actually, choosing a time to triple captain is more difficult than choosing a time to wildcard because
Okay, fair.
you're not going. It's not if you don't triple captain now, then you might not have a better opportunity. Wildcard, you're changing your whole team, so you can actually do it at any time. But chips like triple captain, it has to be used at the optimum time. So I think, to me, that was the Salah was
Okay.
the obvious triple captain. So it worked
All
out.
right.
It could, maybe some other time it may not work out. So not all your decisions are going to be right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I like your thinking. I actually do triple captain Salah that
Yeah.
week also. Okay.
Okay. That's great.
But if I told you these stats, I actually count your number of captaining Salah last season.
Mm.
Out of I don't know how many weeks. Okay. Do you remember Salah is your the most captain pick,
Yeah.
and you captain Salah 18 times,
Okay.
and
Except
and
the time he got hat
uh,
trick. Yeah.
and the rest you captain others, but you actually really put trust on Salah last
Yeah.
season.
Mm.
You captain him almost every game, 18
Yeah.
times. So that's how crucial it is,
Yeah.
captaining the right player.
Yep.
So
But
do you feel Salah is last season is definitely the obvious choice in captaining?
not really, because towards the end, uh, I think after the African Cup of Nations, okay, Salah's form really deteriorated, which is why I switched to start. I started captaining Son Heung-min. Son Heung-min was on form; he was going for Golden Boot.
Yep.
So I think towards the end of the season, I captained the Son more than I captained Salah,
Okay.
except for the game week where KDB scored 4 goals. Yeah,
Okay.
so that was another mistake. But again, it's a 50-50, sometimes, because Salah can score against anybody.
Yeah.
I never expected him to score a hat trick against Manchester United. I think I still thought Manchester United were a good team.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I didn't expect Liverpool to score 5. Yeah.
We go back to that moment, Amerjit, which
Yeah.
is game week 36, where you mentioned you captain Salah,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is
Correct.
actually this is the game week which you bench boost. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So clearly you are actually doing the
Yeah.
traditional way where you wildcard in game week 34, and then
Yeah.
instead of your bench boost in 35, you bench boost in 36, which
Yes.
a lot of players are. I think all players are playing double game week
Yeah.
at the moment, and
Correct.
then you decide to captain Salah, but which is turned out KDB who scored 30 points, right? Okay,
Yeah.
who scored 4 goals that week, and Son who scored 20 points and no double digit for Salah.
Yeah.
So can you walk through again if you can remember this? Give
Okay,
it
I
30
think
points.
this was a bad bench boost for me, because in bench boost the most important is the last column, your reserves. They are supposed to, but my reserves, my bench actually scored like about 11,
13. Hmm.
13. That's not a good bench boost.
Can,
But
can I know what is your minimum points if let's say your bench boost in your reserve? What is your
um,
minimum?
it should at least be more than that. I mean, at least one or two of them must get some points. Means goals or assists, maybe about 20 points. But 13 was not to say it's a failure, but it's at least they played. And none of them got zero. I think, yeah, none of them got zero. But the idea of a bench boost is to make use of your bench, and if but with a bench like this, they didn't perform. So that's the problem. Uh, I think in the future I'm thinking of not playing the bench boost after a wild card. I'm going to play bench boost earlier whenever there are good fixtures, because I think the planning for a bench boost disrupts the team, because you are already trying to have 15 players, because the idea of a bench boost is you want to have a full bench, but it disrupts your team because you got no place for players that are very cheap who might not play. So I might play the bench boost this time earlier, not necessarily in a double game week. I'm looking at that possibility. Normally I play it on a double game week, but it has not been working. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good. But you still managed to survive this outcome, not
Yeah.
captaining KDB. I think a lot of managers captaining Salah or even Son. I think this is where Spurs and Liverpool play between each other, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. I think
Mm.
so.
So that is one of the reason why people are a bit deterred
No,
to
I
captain.
don't think it was Liverpool and Spurs, because I would not captain Salah against Spurs.
Okay. All
No,
right.
no, I think it was Liverpool. were playing. I can't remember who they were playing. I
Okay.
don't think so. Yeah, I
Okay.
can't
All right.
remember now.
Fair. But in the end, you still managed to go on top. Let's go to the next one, which is game week 37. You're
Yeah,
actually free hitting this week.
yeah,
So you captaining Richarlison, okay,
mm,
who managed to get you big points, total
yeah,
38 points. And then you have these two Leicester asset who actually perform for you,
yeah,
Medicine and
yeah,
Vardy.
yeah.
Can you remember how you pick this player?
Okay, I picked Richarlison because Everton were desperate. Everton has something to play for. They feel they are too big a club to be relegated, which I think
Okay,
they are
yeah,
a big club, huge club. So I knew they are not going to go out without a fight. So I knew something will happen, even though the team has been performing badly. And I always look at Richarlison as when things are tough. You can, he plays better when things are very tough. He always shines. So I picked him as the captain, and I also put in Leicester. I can't remember who Leicester were playing, but Leicester were also picking up form because actually
yeah.
throughout the season, Leicester did badly because there were too many injuries. So when their players were coming back, Leicester has been. I always think it's a very good side, very attacking side. So I decided to invest in their players, and I think it was the correct decision.
I
Yeah.
think I think this is the week where Villa,
Mm,
Everton,
mm.
Leicester, and Crystal Palace who actually played twice. That's one
Yes,
reason
yes.
you're you
Yeah,
you
it's a double game week for those teams. Of course, that's why I free hit. I think I maximize the double game week
Yep.
plays here. I think there must
Is
be
only Salah who play one game. Mm,
only Sun. Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. I can't remember now.
mm, mhm.
So if I
So
had done
so
the
that's
interview,
how you
earlier,
approach it lah.
maybe I can
So
remember. Yeah. So I can't remember now. But yeah, I always when I use free hit, it's either blank game week, and this time the extra game free hit I used it when there was a double game week. Yeah. So those teams had a double fixtures. Yeah.
okay, good to hear from you. You
Mhm.
did so we are actually human after all. Okay,
Yeah.
even you finish up number one in Malaysia. Okay, there's some in some stages you actually not performing, but you
Yeah.
still can recover back because FPL is not one game week play.
Yeah.
It's actually
Yeah.
the whole season from game week
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
until
Right.
38. It's a long season. You need to be really vigilant and also preparing of whatever outcomes. So, can I consider, Majid, that you're actually competitive when playing FPL?
Yes. Yes. I don't spend that much time. I mean, I'm not obsessed with it, but actually, the main reason I started playing is because it's because of FPL. I'll be watching games that I usually don't watch. I like who wants to watch Brighton against Newcastle, but I
Yeah,
watch because I may have one. So it's actually makes watching
it's
football
nice.
more interesting. Yeah. So I actually watch it on my computer screen, and I can watch 4 games at the same time. So four and but if I'm not playing, then maybe the enjoyment of the game you probably won't watch most of the football
Uh,
game. Yeah.
yeah.
So that's the main reason.
I
Yeah.
think I like that perspective.
Yeah.
I also shared with you that we won't be watching game like Burnley,
Yeah.
Brighton, this kind
Yeah.
of
Correct.
game unless we
Yeah.
have a purpose, right? Wake up early in the morning. I don't know, Friday night, three o'clock game, Wolf versus Brighton. But
I won't
uh,
stay up for that. I don't. I record it, and then next morning I make sure I don't check the score first. So watch, still got tension a bit lah. Yeah.
okay. We won't delve into much, but we just want to actually find some tips from you also,
Yeah.
how you approach this. Um, may I know what kind of sources that you refer when you make this kind of decision or playing, or is more to your gut feeling? I don't know.
Um. Okay. I don't know. There are some people who say you have to look at the fixtures. Some people say look at form. Um. For me, I think if you have a player who is on form and has a good fixture, that one you must have. Okay, but between form and fixture, actually I will look at form more important, you know. But overall, I also look at players. Okay, there are some decisions that I made that have been correct. Like, for example, there was a debate between Josh King and Emmanuel Dennis.
Yeah.
If you look at statistics, Josh King had better statistics. But I watched Emmanuel Dennis play, and something about him, I don't know how, maybe you cannot put it in statistics. He always looks hungry to score. And he's the kind of player who just loves to score. He wants to score. So I picked Dennis, and it was the correct decision. So sometimes you got to go for players not based on statistics, not based on any theory, but I think the best way of choosing players is to watch the game. You will
Okay,
know.
so you believe in eye test means that you believe in seeing game.
Eye test is the most important. If you don't watch the games, then you will get a feeling about certain players, like Richarlison, Madison. It's based on the kind of players they are. They enjoy the game too much. They want to score. And if you compare to someone like uh, Havertz, Havertz plays the game very well, but he always looks scared. He always looks like he's not
Just
sure what he's
passing
doing.
ball around, is it?
I'm never getting Havertz again. Okay, until me. So, it's something about the characteristics of a player. I don't know how to quantify it. I don't know how to put it in statistics.
All right.
But so there are some players I avoid because of the way they look, the way they, so that's one factor. I mean, it's that's why they call it eye test. It's not based on any science.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're a believer of eye test. I also watching more football game, but in the end we might not be able to watch all games, right?
Yes, correct.
But eye test is important, especially to you. So good to know that. Do you do any research? I don't know. Where you actually scout your facts or stats?
Yeah, I mean, I don't look at stats that much. Actually, I still have not come to grips with XG and minus XG. I know lebih kurang lah.
You go to any website to look
Yes. I mean, I think most of us go through Fantasy Football Scout. Okay, and I go through, but I don't look at the stats so much. I look at people's comments, and more importantly, is to find out the latest news. And sometimes.
Are you a member of Fantasy Football Scout?
I wasn't, but this year I am because I finished in the top 10 in their league. So this year I've been given. That's the only prize I won this year. So
okay,
I'm
good.
a member now. But I don't really rely on stats much. I occasionally will look at the heat map and this and that. For me, the main factor is how I feel about a player. That's it.
Okay, good to hear that. Means that like myself who actually obsessed with this kind of stats, maybe I should not so bothered so much on that and rely on eye test more lah. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. That's my opinion. I think some people do very well with stats. I don't. I don't do well.
Some of managers or players who actually playing put a lot of time to do research and so on, but you did not put that kind of time, but you can still manage on the highest level. So I believe we need to balance between those two.
Yeah, I suppose it's a balance. Sometimes stats also useful. I mean, I glance through, but I don't study them in detail or do my own charts or do my own analysis. I wouldn't know where to start. I don't know how to do that.
Okay. All right. Good. Keep it simple and plain. All right. Okay.
Correct.
So, Amerjit also will share roughly how he's actually drafting for the new season. Let's share with our viewers. Okay. Here is Amerjit draft team, and maybe Amerjit, can you walk through with us your thinking on this draft?
Okay. Firstly, I never draft a team this early. As I said to Hafiz, that I normally draft 1 or 2 days before, because I do not want to think about football during the break. I also need a break. But this time I have drafted, but this is subject to change. I don't think all the players here are going to be in my final draft. It will depend on the transfers and also injury news, and also have an eye about pre-season, who is playing, who is not. But the initial draft, I think, uh, for me, the most important thing is I need structure and flexibility, so that I try to put one premium in each position minimum. That means a defender, expensive midfielder, expensive striker, so that later if I need to switch players, I have the flexibility to do that. And one medium, and then also cheaper ones. This is now normally how I set up my team. So when I set up the team, I'll go for the cheapest player and put it in defense, midfield, striker. Then I'll pick the expensive one, and then I'll fill the gap with other players lah. So that's how I drafted this. It's actually a very quick draft. It just took me 20 minutes.
Okay.
So it's not my final
Uh,
draft. Mm.
if you can see here, just your quick draft means Raya and Henderson looks like the. Are you the person who like pairing keeper, or you prefer stick to one keeper and
Mhm.
just play him all season?
I actually wanted to. I normally go for the keeper and the reserve keeper from the same team, because if the main player doesn't play, then the reserve will come in. But I realized for Brentford, they have bought a new goalkeeper. I can't remember his name,
Yep,
which is the
yep.
same price as Raya. So if I put Raya I think it's a waste of 4.5. So I think Henderson is the same price as the reserve Brentford keeper. So
Okay,
it's not going to cost me more money. Most of the time, I think I'll play Raya over Henderson. But we don't know. Maybe Nottingham Forest can start off well. I do not know about their
yep,
team much.
yep.
So at least I have him. I'm sure he's nailed on Henderson. And Raya and Henderson are same price. So I might change this if I find a 4.0 goalkeeper, but it cannot be from Brentford, because Brentford
Okay,
reserve is 4.5. So I have to find some other. Because I don't like my keepers to be. Sorry, I prefer not to change keepers, because we always get it wrong. But
yep.
this time I make an exception, because Henderson is cheap, and
Okay,
we know about Henderson. We have seen him play before. So I might change it to a 4.0 if I can find a 4.0.
okay,
Otherwise, two 4.5 keepers is sufficient. I
okay.
thought about Mendy 5.0, very cheap, but it's a waste of Chelsea spot. I don't want to do
Okay.
that. Yeah.
All right.
So
Fair, fair.
for defense, I think Cancelo will be in my team. That one confirmed. I don't taking it out. And Salah, and yeah. So Salah and Cancelo are very safe in my team. Maybe Luis Diaz also, because money has gone. So Luis Diaz is more or less nailed on in a Liverpool side that scores lots of goals. So these three I'm quite sure of. I'm not sure about the rest, but this is my initial draft. But it'll
Okay,
be around here, around this, you
okay.
know.
I
Yeah,
can see there, Majid, you choose Robertson over TA, which is actually the most um, people pick.
yeah.
If TA around 55%, Robertson around 10%. Do you feel Robertson is a better player other than TAA?
I think the Trent Alexander-Arnold is likely to score more than Robertson, but not by much more. And the price is 0.5 difference. So for the price, Robertson is better deal. I think TA is too expensive. Yeah. But I still have 0.5 spare, because I always like to have money, so that easier for me to
Ah,
upgrade
okay.
players. So
Keep
I
some
might
money in the bank. All right.
Yes, if I might go for T, but I don't think so. I think towards the end of the season, Robertson was playing better than TAA. I think something about the left side, because of Luis Diaz, the left side is becoming more effective. Not the Salah side, the other side. So I think if between Robertson and TAA, I think TAA will score more than Robertson, but not by much more. So the 0.5 is, I think,
Something that you
uh,
can save. Okay.
yes,
Right. So you favor Robertson. I can see you have three Liverpool players there, two
yeah.
Man City player, Cancelo, and the new player, Haaland. You believe
Yeah.
he's going to start from the beginning of
Okay.
the season?
This one I'm not sure yet. I put Haaland there because it's either Haaland or Kane. Both same price. The problem is Kane starts against Southampton, and then the following week he plays Chelsea.
Okay, you already studied the fixture. Good.
Spurs always have problem with Chelsea. In fact, even Southampton is their bogey team. They always have problem with Southampton. Beat them last year. But Haaland is risky because we do not know whether he is going to adapt to Premier League. He's coming from the Bundesliga, so but I think Haaland is different. I don't think, because remember I think the last season I also invested in Timo Werner, and and Kai Havertz as well.
Yeah.
I think people who come from the Bundesliga, they have difficulty. So I don't take Bundesliga players from Germany. But Haaland, I think, is different. He has the strength, and he's actually a very fast player. So I think I will go for Haaland, because although the first game against West Ham is not so easy, but following that, I think they play Bournemouth. If I have the fixture somewhere. So
Yeah, Bournemouth, correct.
City has some of the easiest games. Spurs have opening 2 games. I'm not so gung ho about them. After that, they're fine. So if things get bad, I can always switch to Kane, same price. So that's why it's either Haaland or Kane. I'm not sure yet.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So the obvious one we can see here, no Spurs player. Okay, Son or even Kane. It could be Kane over Haaland. So is that something that you are concerned?
Okay, I would have gone for Son, but Son is too expensive. I cannot understand why Son is more expensive than Kane. I mean, Son had a good season last season, but Kane has been there. He's on penalties. Kane plays 90 minutes. Kane never comes out. Son can get substituted. And Kane last year, he started off badly because he was having some contractual issues. I think if you want to choose a Tottenham player, it'll be Kane this year, not Son. I mean, Son is a good player, of course. He saved some of my game weeks, but I think to put Son more expensive than Kane doesn't make sense. Son is not worth 12 million. Okay. He's not on penalties. You see, like Salah is more expensive, but at least he's on penalties. Penalties make a big difference. It's easy points. I mean, of course, sometimes you miss the penalties, but I think if I were to get anyone from Spurs, it will only be Kane, because the rest of the team, I'm not sure how they're going. They have brought in 6 new players, so I'm not sure who is the one that is going to play what position. Of course, Kane and Son are nailed, but remember, there's also a 5 substitute rule. Because of 5 substitutes, I expect Son to be taken out. If they're winning, they're going to bring out Son. The wing backs also will be taken out. That's why I'm not putting in Perisic. I'm not sure about the Perisic's game time. But Kane will never be taken out. 90 minutes injury time. After the game, he'll still be playing. So that's the thing. Yeah.
Okay. Another player I want to touch is Jesus. Your partner Haaland with Jesus, and Jesus actually is now in Arsenal team. Do you see a good prospect of Jesus this season?
Okay, actually, their first 2 games are tricky. Crystal Palace, okay, and I think after that, I can't remember who they play. Leicester. Okay, I put in Jesus because I need his price point 9.0. I think 9.0, isn't it? I need a player.
He's actually at 8.0. 8.0.
Oh, 8.0. Because I want to look at. I want to see how Darwin Núñez plays because I'm not sure whether he's going to blend in. I'm not going to use Darwin Núñez and Haaland at the beginning because both are new players. It's too risky. So I think Jesus, because after that Arsenal have good games. So I think I might I might keep Jesus, or I might change, because if I downgrade Jesus, I can upgrade the midfield.
Okay.
So that's why I say it's still a draft. It depends. Closer to normally I'll decide about 1 hour before FPL starts.
Wow.
So
yeah,
that's the best time for me to decide. It always works better. Not last minute, not too early. Yeah, always that 1 hour before, and then after that I don't touch the team. So normally, I don't know, it works better. I have no explanation why. So Jesus might not be in the team very long. I'm not sure, but
Okay. Okay.
I think he will do well for Arsenal. Although, of course, I cannot support Arsenal. I am a Tottenham supporter. But for FPL, mana-mana point pun ambil juga.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I
Okay.
understand that, Majid.
Yeah.
Any other player that you want to touch?
Okay. If we look at the Luis Diaz, okay, I actually have one space there that is the Luis Diaz price, which in the future I want to put Mason Mount. I think Mason Mount is going to be important for Chelsea or for City Riyad Mahrez because they've already lost Sterling.
Sterling. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Riyad Mahrez may get more time. Normally, I don't put Riyad Mahrez because he doesn't get consistent time.
Yeah.
So
I
this time
understand.
on the right wing is looks like Riyad Mahrez, but they're saying that Foden might play on the right wing. I'm not too sure about that. So if Riyad Mahrez is nailed, I would prefer Riyad Mahrez. I think he's a player that scores a lot of points. Only, but the
Okay.
problem is he doesn't play that regularly. But without Sterling, I think he might be nailed. So I might switch to Riyad Mahrez when actually City has got the best opening fixtures. They don't play anybody particularly tough.
Yep.
So Luis Diaz plays, I have to also KIV first. But the rest, I think, are cheap options. I'm taking a risk because I don't think many people will have Leon Bailey and Andre and Neto and all that. But I have a good figure. Wolves have got very good fixtures.
Yep.
Neto was
Actually,
okay.
Neto, one of the highest pick of player also in
Oh,
midfield.
really?
Yep.
Because I think
Around
he's a
20,
very
20
good
percent.
player. But he was injured most of last season. I think he will, and also Bailey. Bailey for Villa also because Villa also have good fixtures for the beginning. So this is why this is a quick draft. Maybe I might keep them because their prices are good. Neto, I
Yep.
think, is only
Yep.
5 million.
5.5 Neto, Bailey 5 million. Yep.
Oh, okay, okay. So around that, I mean, the lowest midfielder you can find is 4.5. So if I can get five, it's and hopefully playing. I'm not sure about Bailey playing, but I think when he was fit last year, he was playing most of the games. So and Neto as well. So
Yep.
I'm kind of
We
hoping that
definitely keep a close watch during this preseason in terms of
yeah,
their minutes.
yeah. I don't know. That's my at the moment, and the rest. I think Visa because I think Visa for Brentford he is quite attacking, but not sure whether it's going to be nailed on.
Yep.
Cash, I think, is pretty nailed for Villa.
Okay.
And Greenwood is 4.5. So I need one for the,
A
just
folder lah.
just to save money. So I put Greenwood, you know.
Right.
4.5 is the cheapest striker you can find. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's my thoughts, Hafiz. I'm not sure
Okay.
whether this will change, but it's too early for me to make any decisions. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Amerjit, for sharing your team. Definitely, our viewers will at least see some of your thoughts and guidance. And if let's say they want to adopt this kind of approach, they can use
Yeah.
this. I believe some of the players also is currently the template that play managers are choosing. So
Is
I
it is
think
it template? I'm not sure because I
it's,
normally
it's, it's, uh, it's not too template, but the likes of Cancelo, James, Salah, Diaz, Neto, Jesus, and Haaland is among inside of
yeah.
the top
I
selection
think
of managers.
Haaland is a risky pick lah. I might change to Kane, but I'm trying to save one transfer because the following week I want to change to Haaland and take out Kane. I don't want a situation where I'm forced to make a transfer. I rather save a transfer so I have flexibility later on. So I
Okay,
don't know. Risky
right,
lah for Haaland.
right.
Yeah,
I like that. I think Haaland is unproven, but we already know his past record in Bundesliga. He can
yeah,
score goal even in international fixture. Playing Norway also, he's actually
yeah.
scoring goals and he's on penalty. I'm not sure in Manchester City he took
I think
penalty later or not. It's something
I
that we
think
need
he
to
will be
watch.
at penalties. City has a bad record for penalties, and
So
I
if
also
they say he's for sure taking penalty, he's definitely in a lot of managers team.
yeah probably yeah true. So I don't know.
Okay.
We have to wait and see now. First day Alan, and then like they say on the community, hide behind the sofa lah when Kane plays. Okay.
Understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amerjit, thank you for sharing with us. Okay.
Yeah.
And your thoughts. We already at 50 minutes time. It's been a
Okay.
long chatting with you. It's a good chat. Finally talk to you.
Yeah.
Okay. And maybe in future we'll meet up again and
Yeah.
come back to your team. We never know. In future we
Yeah.
run through your team again, and
Mm.
then we shall see how your season will be in the new season. Good luck in your new
Okay.
season,
Yeah.
and
Good luck
hopefully
to you too.
you can still maintain your first spot in Malaysia and
Uh-huh.
in the world.
Okay. Thanks and good luck to you too. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Amajit.